Supporters of an amendment defining marriage in North Carolina as between one man and one woman are declaring victory tonight after a long and sometimes bitter campaign.
Yeah, it was certainly one of the defining moments of this North Carolina primary. We had the results scrolling along the bottom of your screen throughout this newscast.
Our live team coverage begins tonight with the News 13's Mario Boone. Mario, some very happy voters where you are tonight.
That's right, Darcel, and I just spoke to the state Republican Party vice chairman a moment ago who summed up his feelings about the passage of the marriage amendment. But first, I'd like to show you some video from just a few days ago with people on both sides of this issue clashing. And we saw some signs both for and against the marriage amendment vandalized here in western North Carolina as those people rallying for it and against it staked out their position on this very contentious fight over the marriage amendment to the state constitution. Now, also, we saw various religious groups here in the area holding press conferences for this amendment. On the other side of things, those other groups holding press conferences against the marriage amendment. And of course, some people even drafted former President Bill Clinton in the mix of this thing to show his support against the marriage amendment. But I want to play for you some of the interview we shot a few moments ago with the state Republican Party vice chairman. Take a listen.
Absolutely, I think it's the right move. I think it sends a strong message that social values are important in this state. And I'm a social conservative, and I believe at this part of this state, we are value voters.
So the fight for the marriage amendment over for now. There's already talk that this thing could wind up in court if a lawsuit is filed. Of course, we'll watch and see if that develops. Reporting live tonight in South Buncombe County, I'm Mario Boone, News 13.
Well, the marriage amendment has passed, but the fight for equal rights in North Carolina is far from over.
News 13's Megan Shearing joins us live in Asheville tonight. Megan, same-sex advocates are not giving up hope.
That's right, Darcel. They say they only see this as a temporary setback. Same-sex marriage advocates believe that one day all couples in North Carolina will have the protections they deserve. As their fight continues at this time, opponents of the marriage amendment fear the change to the state constitution is going to do more harm than good for folks in this state. Neighbors for Equality say 250,000 people will be negatively impacted. Members say starting tomorrow morning, health insurance for unmarried couples and children could be cut. Also, victims of domestic violence could no longer be protected.
Amendments don't go away easily. You know, they're in our Constitution. It will be there forever, even if we eventually repeal it one day, which, you know, I know we will. Our constitutions are supposed to protect us, and this amendment does nothing to protect myself or my neighbors in North Carolina.
Now, Asheville is one of several cities in the state that provides domestic partnership benefits. We asked the city how this might affect things here. They tell me they are unsure. Everything is up in the air at this point. But despite what voters said tonight, the fight for marriage equality will continue in this state. The Campaign for Southern Equality is beginning another We Do campaign. Tomorrow, they will be visiting several cities over the next couple of days, including Asheville, to rally support for same-sex marriage. Reporting live in downtown Asheville tonight, Megan Shearing, News 13.